Peut-être plus.
I think that's a little loud. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Variant Edition's Tuesday Night New Releases show. My name is Brandon, and I have the cutest face in comic book streaming. Prove me wrong. How are you all doing today? I have had a pretty wonderful day. Things kind of have been moving forward, which I really like. Hey, Bryce. This week in general, I've been in a very good mood. So much so that as of Monday, I really started going back to exercising regularly. I go to the Tri-Leisure Center, and I've been feeling a lot better mind-wise, and I've been wanting to kind of get back to a nice regimen. Now the pool's closed. I love swimming. So that sucks. It's always closed for about a month or so. And I've just been, getting back to a better mental state. I've been having a lot of fun in life. So that's really nice. I hope you all are doing well. I'm looking across over there to a box set that I forgot to put in this pile. So I'm going to have to go and grab that in a little bit. And yeah, the store's been doing great. We're planning a bunch of things for the fall. I should actually have the information for the book first book club up very soon. I am in contact with the creator, and we received a surprise shipment this week that contained a book that I didn't think that we were going to see back in the store, which is really cool. One of our absolute favorite books. And yeah, just been going through my days, trying to stay awesome. So let me just grab that other box set so that I don't end up doing this in a little bit later. I honestly don't expect a whole lot of people to chime in tonight, especially because some folks will probably be watching the debate that's on tonight. And honestly, I don't have the mental capacity for it. I'll catch different bits and bobs tomorrow and listen to the Daily Zeitgeist is how I get a lot of information and whatnot. So they usually kind of disseminate a lot of the larger cultural points and help me exist as people. Hello. Oh, there you go. That is one way to do it, honestly. Yeah. After this, I'm gonna watch some more wrestling because there's wrestling on all the time, friends. Wrestling this weekend was a little wild. This past week has been wild. I saw a man burn down another man's childhood home. The image of that was really cool, honestly. And I love the weird wrestling world where that person didn't go to jail. They apparently say they've got a good storyline reason for it. And I'm like, okay, that dude did arson. Normally the crowd chants when something cool's happening. This is awesome. They clap, 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 clap. On that night's show, they were going, this is arson, clap, 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 clap. This is arson. So that was deranged, but not as deranged as the big show that happened on Saturday, when I saw a man get suffocated with a bag after his match. I saw a woman miss a kick and land doing the splits on some thumbtacks in a street fight. I saw two guys using a cinder block as a weapon, and somewhat violently at the end of the match used a needle on a man's cheek. Also a staple gun, which I was thinking, oh, it's making the sound of the staples. No. One of them pulled staples out of him afterwards. Wrestling, it's fine. Everyone's well adjusted on the wrestling shows, and there are no problems. So yeah, that was some pop culture that I consumed this weekend. Also started watching The Challenge. Season was picked special for me, curated. Season 24, I believe. Watched a few episodes, and boy, is that show fun. It gets out my drama yaws. Like sometimes I'm just like a little nosy bitch. So it satisfies that craving within me. But one of the things that I really liked about it is a lot of these people on the challenge have been around for a while. There's 40 seasons now, and people cycle in and out. And it's basically like these weird games, sometimes physical, sometimes puzzles. And there's like a whole bunch of people who like drink in a house and yell at each other and make different plans and scheme and whatnot. But what was really cool to see was kind of when push comes to shove, when someone, one of the people on the show was battling ovarian cancer. And so wears wigs a lot, and she always felt bad about going out with her natural hair, and she decides to go out with natural hair for one night. And like, no matter what was happening in that house, the schemes, the whatnot, everybody sort of rallied and had this really great sense of camaraderie. It really felt like there's the games that are played, but the actual hard real life stuff, no one was an actual sociopath. I might encounter those eventually, I don't know, but it's a fun show if you're looking to just kind of like zone out a little bit and watch something, or not quite fully pay attention to it all when it's happening. Sort of like a bit of background, like I do with wrestling. Highly recommend it because it is fun. All right. Well, I'm going to get to the thing I was surprised showed up. It is a restock, friends, of a book that I thought was going to be out forever, because the company announced that they were going to stop publishing about 2, maybe 3 years ago. And thankfully have not stopped publishing anything since. They just keep going, basically. Okay, cool. Hello. It's a new TV show, right? SWAT? So yeah, this is A Frog in the Fall, and later on, from Linnea Sturt, published by Piao Studios. Piao Studios was a publishing house overseas. I want to say Finland. And they put together absolutely gorgeous books. Linnea Sturt also did a beautiful book called Stages of Rot, where the space whale dies, basically. And as its body slowly decomposes, she puts these like really elaborate landscapes and shows how these creatures and these races and this community grows as this whale decomposes, and it's based off of how things happen when a whale can decompose. It creates a whole lot of life as it dies, basically. And they added a little bit of a sci-fi bent to this. This one does not have a sci-fi bent. It is a beautiful hardcover with thick stock, great paper. One of the ways that I can tell a Kickstarter or something is going to be absolutely amazing is if they have listed in what the printing is going to be like, the type of paper stock, the coloring techniques, and all that kind of stuff. So I really like it. So yeah, A Frog in the Fall is sort of like a very Wind in the Willows style story, but you know, a lot heavier. Basically, it's got gorgeous images and beautiful emotion to it. There's like a sense of longing and beauty to this book that I really enjoy, and I'm so happy to have it back in stock. I know a lot of people have been asking if we could get hands on more copies of this. I finally have. There's a few in store. I don't have them quite up on the website just yet. So if you do want a copy, please let me know. This is a wonderful book that will make you feel things. And I'm, like I said, super excited to have it back in stock. Because me being me, I will often, if somebody asks and I feel like they'll like really enjoy a thing, I was just a little bit away from giving away my own copy. It's, oh my goodness, it is a beautiful thing, and I highly recommend it. Right? It's so cool. So I wanted to talk about that one right off the bat before I get to the single issues. And just to showcase it a little bit more. So I don't remember if I was able to talk about this before I left on vacation, or if this came during vacation and I didn't have time to really do a show. But I wanted to tell people about Red Before Black, which second issue is coming out tomorrow. This is a amazing crime story. For folks who like sort of some more classic Vertigo stuff, it gave me the feelings of Scalped, a wonderful crime story that takes place on an Indian reservation. This doesn't take place on an Indian reservation, but the crime elements and just sort of like the sticky nature of the plot really reminded me of it. It grabs you right from the start with sort of, fairly bog standard, like, person gets out of the clink and is now trying to reestablish their life, may be falling into bad habits. But the twists that are in here are absolutely amazing, and the hooks get right under the skin. I am so happy for this book. In the first issue, there's like 3 or 4 complications that get introduced that are in surprising ways. And I'm really hoping that folks who are into like great crime stories, Red Before Black, have to try it. All right, there is a new Wolverine series from Saladin Ahmed, and I want to say, I would have gotten the first name wrong. Martin Coccolo. This is part of the From the Ashes relaunch of the X-Men line. There's a bunch of different covers, including shiny. I really like the shiny, and this striking image of the negative space variant. Saladin Ahmed is great at telling very emotional stories. This one is going to be more stabby than most, of course, because it is Wolverine. The boy stabs. He's got the sharps, and he's a good old Canadian boy just trying to do his best. So I have yet to read this one because Marvel is really bad at giving preview copies to retailers beforehand. So I will be letting people know what I think about this, but the art's absolutely incredible. I love Saladin Ahmed as a writer, and I'm very excited to check that out. Speaking of the X-Men relaunch, the first issue of Uncanny is back in print, along with the second issue from Gail Simone. She is taking a road team, basically, and it's more about community building and whatnot. And it's probably my favorite of the main X books right now. Gru is back from Sergio Aragones and Marc Evanier, with Stan Sakai, of course, doing the lettering as always. Gru's been running for decades. He's just a guy trying to make his way in the world, kind of a Conan type, but the stories are a lot more comical. Deadeyes returns this week. This is from Jerry Duggan and John McCrae. Is also a crime story. The first volume did remarkably well, and then it disappeared for a long time. And so this is back. This is sort of like a weird, I would say, it's got a little bit of magical realism to it, heisty stuff, and a little bit dark. And finally, take a look at this freaking lenticular cover for Nightwing Uncovered. This is a collection of covers, and I think this is one of the coolest covers I've seen in a long time. You have Dick running up there. You have him doing flips. And then I don't know if you can see this. You got him showing some sweet, sweet booty hanging out there. As is Nightwing's way, honestly. I did not realize that this cover would be doing this. So I only have the one copy right now, but I ordered more immediately because holy crap, look at this thing. It's absolutely amazing. And yes, like I said, it collects a bunch of recent Nightwing covers, which means you get a whole bunch of amazing Bruno Redondo covers, and also some sweet ones with Nightwing hanging out with his sweet, sweet puppers. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I really like this. Sean, I will make a note of that right now. This is when I stall for time, because I can't quite do two things at once, girl. Great at singing. That's what they say about me. Wolverine negative space. Handsome and talented. Brandon Schott's way. We've got the collected edition of Lotus Land from one of my absolute favorite writers in the medium right now, Darcy Van Polgeest, with art from Caio Felipe. Darcy Van Polgeest is the writer behind Little Bird and the tie-in series that's happening right now, Precious Metal, with Ian Bertram. That is just a beautiful, beautiful book. Kind of light sci-fi, takes place in the future. I say light sci-fi, it's heavy sci-fi, where kind of America's religious zealotry has really taken over. It has invaded Canada, and it's all kind of part of machines. And there's this young Indigenous woman who goes through and is attempting to help take back her land, her country, and it is gorgeous. I don't have a copy here to share with you because I have I keep giving that away to folks, and then I need to reorder it. And so I'm in the reorder process right now. I'll have it again soon. Anyways, this is also sort of a light sci-fi. So the year is 2648. Evermore's Keeper program has discovered the secret to everlasting life. But when an attack on the program occurs, former Vancouver police detective Benny Strickman is drawn out of retirement to take on the case. As Benny digs deeper into the secrets of the program, he becomes enmeshed in a web of corruption that goes further than he could ever imagine. However, Benny's desperate struggle to protect his family has irrevocable consequences, and the lives of Benny and those he loves will never be the same. Carl, I will get you down for that Nightwing lenticular, please. And Bryce, negative space. not Bruce. Wolverine. All right. Sean, yes, DC is way better at the lenticular covers. This is not full on lenticular like the wraparound. This lenticular is actually put on the cover. But yeah, when DC did their first batch of lenticulars and Marvel kind of followed suit, Marvel didn't quite land it. DC's really figured it out, and they don't do them quite often anymore. But wow, when they do, this thing's amazing, honestly. I've got so many more on order now. I've got a few more on order. But if anyone else is interested, let me know and I will make that happen for them. All right. Something that came out when I was gone. I don't think I talked about this on the show, but I want people to know that the new Brubaker, Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips is out, and we still have signed book plates for this one. From what I've heard, we're one of the only places in the city that get the signed book plates for this, which is really cool. Houses of the Unholy is a riveting horror thrill ride from bestselling creators Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, an FBI agent from the cult crime beat and a woman with a past linked to the satanic panic are drawn into a hunt for an insane killer hiding in the shadows of the occult world. Natalie Burns once thought she'd escaped her past, but what if your bad decisions are more ghosts waiting for you in the dark? I was talking with somebody who expected more supernatural elements to this. This is actually really more a dark crime take on the satanic panic and sort of all of that kind of rearing its head again in these modern times. And Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips are really good at telling those stories. We have the return of Superstar. This is an older comic from Kurt Busiek and Stuart Immonen, two of the biggest creators who have worked in this industry. And this was a creator-owned book that they did, and the character actually recently came back in a book that Kurt Busiek has co-created called Free Agents, which is really good from Image right now. Cody Bridges, aka Superstar, fame is power. For Cody Bridges, aka Superstar, that's the literal truth. The more popular he is, the more powerful he is. So in order to save lives, he's got to stay famous. With his father's media empire behind him, packaging him as the perfect celebrity hero, it should be easy. But where's the line between being a hero and just being another product to be sold? I think this has actually become more and more relevant as time has gone on, because this originally came out in like the year 2000. In the distant year 2000. Brubaker hardcover. Carl, I'm happy to report I already have that aside for you, of course. I remember every time a Brubaker Phillips comes out to make sure that you get your hands on a copy. So made sure that happened for you. We have Batman Dylan Dog. This book surprised me. This is a crossover of sorts, but a lot of you might not have heard of the character Dylan Dog. He's huge over in Europe and has tons of stories to his name. I think over 400. Like the series has gone on for over 400 serialized stories, and they're like thicker volumes. So this brings those two worlds together. I was not really familiar with Dylan Dog. This story, this back and forth, was so much fun. As Dylan Dog is a person who's trying to solve crimes, and like weird spooky stuff keeps happening. Like he fights a doctor who makes zombie people. And that character and the Joker seem to be joining forces. So of course, Batman's come over, is trying to check out this person. And what I really like about it is they meet outside of knowing that one's Batman and one's a detective. When Batman does his detective work and figures out, oh, this weird doctor who I seem to be trying to chase down seems to have ties to this Dylan Dog character. And so they both meet and they just both hate each other so much because Dylan Dog's like billionaires. You can't trust those guys at all. And Bruce is looking at Dylan Dog being a lie about dillweed, and they're just like so upset. Anyways, there's so much fun in this book, even when it gets dark. And I wish it left me thinking, wow, I really need to figure out how to get some hands on some Dylan Dog stuff, because I had the time of my life reading this. It's just a fun book. That it looks gorgeous, and yeah, it's probably going to end up in my collection because I don't think this is going to stay in print forever. A lot of crossover things don't, and I would like it to take up space in my life. That's kind of cool. All right. I actually do have another single issue release to talk about. It's the new Chip Zdarsky that he's done with David Brothers and Marcus Toe. This is a distillery book, and I've been waiting for this one for quite some time. I'm always down for a Chip Zdarsky book. For folks who don't know, that young man was signing comics in our store a little over a year ago. He is the main writer of Batman. At the time, he was the main writer of Daredevil, which he since wrapped up his run, and honestly is one of the best creators in the medium today. And he chose our store out of Edmonton to do a signing at, and it was absolutely wonderful. So we've got Time Waits. An array of covers. Join Chip Zdarsky, David Brothers, and Marcus Toe for a sci-fi adventure that defies expectation and time itself. Meet Blue, a man trapped in the past, which is our present, sent back in time for a mission he could not bring himself to complete. The former soldier Blue builds a life with Grace, the sheriff of a small rural town. The pair build a foundation of happiness on a history of bloodshed, as far away from the trigger-happy corporate overlords that used Blue as a human gun. After 10 years together, Blue and Grace are on the cusp of taking the next step in their relationship, adoption. Before Grace can fully convince Blue to expand their family, the future comes calling. The overlords want their first deserter, and to complete the mission, Blue could not. They have one simple rule: kill anyone who stands in their way. This is apparently the first of 4 miniseries that Chip Zdarsky will be bringing to Distillery. I'm very excited about that. Again, another thing that I like about Distillery is they've got an oversized presentation. It's more of a magazine size, so the art really gets to expand, and you can do a lot more things with the storytelling, especially as every issue has 48 pages of interior. A little over double what you get from a normal comic book for for about the same price as about the same price as 2 comics, but you get a little more comic, and obviously you get the better presentation with spot gloss on the covers and everything like that. I really like this form of comic making. I like objects instead of a more disposable format. Speaking of Distillery, there is a cover gallery for Somna that features all of the covers. This is a little saucy, as was Somna, a brilliant erotic thriller from Becky Cloonan and Tula Lotay, taking place back when women were burned at stakes for being witches. And it's about a young woman who is discovering her sexuality in a very Puritan world, but with like weird kind of demonic stuff happening in the background. Beautiful, beautiful book, and a gorgeous book of covers. Oh, because of Blue? Yeah, that'll happen sometimes. All right, finally, it's the box set that I went to grab. It's the Sheets collection. This was a wonderful series of graphic novels that a lot of young adult kids have really adored over the years. And Oni has put the whole thing in a nice slipcover for folks who want who maybe have read them from libraries, really enjoy the book, and then you get them in this really nice format that that is not any more expensive than getting the books themselves. Escape to a haunted laundromat in the Sheets collection. In the beautifully crafted Sheets series, Brenna Thumler offers a magical world inside a haunted laundromat filled with sheet ghosts. When Wendell the ghost bumbles into Marjorie Glatt's life, the land of ghosts and the land of humans collide in 3 gorgeously illustrated, highly acclaimed, and award-winning books. So I'm going to read more of the plot from the first Sheets, which, ooh la la, French flaps. Always love French flaps. For Marjorie Glatt, being 13 years old isn't quite the same as it is for everyone else. Responsible for running her family's laundromat while trying to survive middle school, Marjorie's daily struggles include persnickety customers, snippy classmates, agonizing swim lessons, and laundry. Always, always laundry. Wendell is a bit different too. Wendell is a ghost. His daily struggles include dead youth support groups and unavoidable stains. But when he escapes from the land of ghosts and bumbles into Marjorie's laundromat, the perfect ghost playground, his attempts at fun and friendship begin to harm the family business. Sheets is a powerful story about a young girl's perseverance even when the odds are stacked against her. It shows that forgiveness and second chances can result in unlikely friendships. Above all, it is an invitation into an unusual haunted laundromat that brings family, friends, and yes, Sheets to life. And it's just a beautiful book. I like a lot of the coloring choices that are made, especially in sort of like Land of the Dead and Land of the Living and all this kind of stuff. Just a beautiful series with beautiful characters trying to make their way in the world today. It takes everything you got. Yeah, absolutely. The price for all 3 of these babies runs $70. But for something like this, Sean, thicker sets, whatnot, we do offer bigger discounts, especially for file customers. All right. That's Stack. And that's everything. So a fairly quick one tonight, honestly, which is good. Had a good time. I hope you all did too. I don't have much else to report other than what I've already said. So thank you all for watching. And as always, we're going to do this little thing that we always, well, I say always, most times do. Oh, hey, as we're looking through this magic mirror. And for anybody new joining, I actually have a little story because Sean and Kate have made this for the show because I used to use this magic mirror to look through, which works out good, but you know, you just keep that in the pocket, right? It's pocket size. This one actually lets me see more face. So it's really nice. All right. So I am looking out today and I am seeing Bryce. Hello, Bryce. I'm seeing Bing. Hi, Bing. I'm seeing Ben. Hello, Ben. Ben, I realized on like Friday that I didn't get your delivery going. I will get that happening this week for sure. I got caught up because we are providing some texts for a graphic novel course that McEwen's doing, and one of those needed to get into students' hands right away, and so I was going all around the city doing deliveries for until quite late. And then one of them was in St. Albert, so I stopped at Pizza Garage and had an extremely delicious pizza. I see Sean. Hello, Sean. Oh yeah, and I forgot to tell the story, but I'll tell a story a little bit after this. I see PD Bowman. Hello. I see Carl. Hey, Carl. Do. And I believe that's it. No, but yeah, before I take this away, there's always a nice reminder of a story on the back of this. So 3 years ago, my nieces were visiting me for my birthday, and the oldest, who at the time was 5, yeah, she looks at me very seriously, grabs me by the arm, pulls me down, looks me in the face, and says, "Uncle Brandon?" Say yes. She goes, "The booty is a butt." So they wrote that nice message on the back of this because it's one of my favorite stories. Just the absolute serious nature of just like, "Uncle Brandon, before I leave today, I must impart this wisdom that I've gained from my 5 years of existence." And it goes, "The booty is a butt." I'll never forget that moment, honestly. All right, hot sauce update. So I did find the hot sauce. I did try the hot sauce, but only just a little dab because I haven't really had anything that I want to really go with it right now. And it was a lot spicier than I thought it was going to be. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, while I was on vacation, I discovered that Ed Sheeran has a hot sauce line called Tingly Ted's. And Ed Sheeran on the Tingly Ted's website, it says that he had a dream of making the ketchup of hot sauces, and I just needed to know what that meant. And so folks let me know that it's here. It can apparently go with everything, as Sean says, hot dogs, shepherd's pies. And yeah, I'm excited to fully try it out. But my first glance, I was just like, oh, hotter than I expected an Ed Sheeran hot sauce to be when it's purporting to be the ketchup of hot sauces. So it's true. All right. Well, the cats are staging a mutiny. I've put them in the spare room for the show tonight. So I will bid all of you a fond adieu, as the kids say today, all of them. And we will talk again soon. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Bye.